Well, St. Lucia has a great reputation where its literature is concerned. Of course, a lot of that reputation is founded on Derek Walcott, our Nobel laureate. He got a Nobel laureate for literature in 1992. Sir Arthur Lewis got a Nobel laureate for economics in 1979, also from St. Lucia. But the Walcott brothers, Derek, of course, and Roderick, Derek is poet and playwright, Roderick was playwright, were part of what we can call a golden age of literature and arts in St. Lucia. They were mentored by a man called Harold Simmons, who Derek records in the book Another Life, taught him to paint, and I would imagine also helped to stimulate Derek's artistic life. And Harold Simmons wrote, in fact, the very first review, significant review of Derek Walcott's 25 poems, which came out in 1948. So that whole generation, Derek Walcott, Roderick Walcott, you had the Arts Guild which they formed to do their theatre. You had other writers like Garth St. Thomas, the St.Lucian novelist, Stanley French, who was a younger man at the time, people like Hunter Francois. You had musicians, dancers, actors, writers. It was really a very vibrant time in St. Lucia, the late 40s throughout the 50s. And of course, Derek Walcott went on later to become an international figure. But after Derek Walcott and his generation, as it were, you had another generation, people like MacDonald Dixon. You had people like myself, Robert Lee, Kendall Hippolyte, and so on, out of the 70s and 80s. And after that, you have other writers coming out again. Many of them self-published, many of us published our work overseas, many of us published in the anthologies. The writing is founded, as Derek Walcott's work is, rooted in St. Lucian landscape, the beauty of the island, St. Lucian history, St. Lucian Creole, the letters behind it. Even Walcott himself has written some poems in St. Lucian Creole. Of course, his plays are filled with the language. And so we've had a very strong tradition in literature, in poetry, more than in prose, though we have significant novelists. And we have playwrights who've not published a lot, but their plays have been produced. So we have, I would say, to repeat myself, a good strong literary tradition. In the arts also, because those things don't happen alone, we are surrounded by strong traditions over many years in dance, in music, in art. Johnson St. Thomas, Derek Walcott's very good friend, whom he really praises highly in the book Another Life, would be St. Lucia's still, I believe, foremost painter, whose murals are found in many churches in St. Lucia. In 1993, the government of St. Lucia of the day began what was called Nobel Laureate Week. And Nobel Laureate Week was to celebrate the achievements of both Nobel laureates, Derek Walcott and Arthur Lewis, who in fact share the same birth date, January 23rd, Derek in 1930, Arthur Lewis I think in 1915. And so every year from 1993, there are a number of activities put on. The standing committee is headed now by the Governor General, Dame Paulette Louisi. And you have a number of activities, artistic activities, two major lectures, a Derek Walcott lecture and an Arthur Lewis lecture. And we have people from overseas who come in to give those lectures, major Caribbean and international poets and writers. You have school activities, you have artistic exhibitions, and we have been trying in St. Lucia to make that Nobel Laureate Week something very significant that will also attract visitors. In terms of support for the arts in St. Lucia, we always cry out for more performing centers, rehearsal spaces. There are good bookshops where you can get St. Lucian literature, the Sunshine Bookshop, the Book Salon. The Folk Research Center offers a unique opportunity to see how the folk culture of St. Lucia has, as it were, informed the arts of St. Lucia. And so if you come to the Folk Research Center, you can read the writings of Harold Simmons. You can also find the works of St. Lucian writers here. And very often you meet St. Lucian artists and writers in the place at the time that you're visiting. And so this is a rundown of St. Lucian art, St. Lucian literature for the most part. Our writers, many male and female, a new generation rising, St. Lucian theatre, St. Lucian art, St. Lucian culture. A very rich tradition in the arts and culture here in St. Lucia.